Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the InnerViews. In today's video, we're going to briefly analyze Arsenal's subtle tactical and positional adjustments that can elevate Bukayo Saka's goal-scoring threat. So in today's video, first we're going to focus on Arsenal's shape and some of the positional and tactical alterations that we've witnessed throughout preseason, and then we'll focus on Saka's impact from the right side of the pitch. So when we break it all down and we do look at the board, we have Arsenal in their base 4-3-3 shape, and as we've stated over the past 12 to 24 months, when Arsenal have had possession and dominated the ball, we've seen them shift into more of a 3-2-5 with the left back often tucking in towards the central area and then Gabriel shifting out to a left center back role. Or there have been times where they've kept their fullbacks narrow and been more of a 4-1-5, and that would create space for the wider players to hug the touchline and provide cover in the half spaces. However, in the first few games that we've witnessed in preseason and in terms of the Community Shield, what we have seen is that Arteta has been using Timber and Kivior in that left back role, and we've witnessed a bit of a change in terms of how Arsenal have been able to vary their attack. Because with Zinchenko, he tucks in towards that central midfield zone. You'd have Gabriel moving to the left side, and from there you rarely use Zinchenko as a left back pushing forward or as the left center back. In terms of Tierney, when he has played in that left back role, he can move into the midfield zone as well, and while he is more fit to play in that left center back role, you often want to maximize his attacking threat by pushing him into the final third. You witness him making those left shuttler runs from an inside left position beyond the opposing side's fullback to combine with Martinelli, and for the most part it allows Martinelli to tuck into more of a central area to get in towards the penalty area, and from there you could see Tierney making forward runs down the left touchline or at times making overlapping runs to combine with Martinelli as well. This is not to say that we haven't witnessed Kivior or Timber shifting in towards that left central midfield zone, and that does allow them to maintain the structure that Mikel Arteta has assembled with this Arsenal side, but we also have witnessed them stay a bit deeper, and that's due to the fact that Kivior doesn't offer much of an attacking threat from that left back role, and while Timber can push forward, you often see him pushing in towards the inside left position to serve as a passing threat, as he is capable of bypassing the opposing side's midfield bank with his dribbling and his passing. However, the combination of those two playing at left back and being able to operate as a left center back, along with the introduction of Declan Rice into the starting 11, allows Arsenal some flexibility on the right hand side, because Declan Rice could drop into an inside left position and tuck in for Timber or Kivior if they were looking to push forward, and that more so applies to Timber pushing in towards a left half space position, or at times pushing into more of an advanced left-sided position on the touchline. This also gives Arsenal a bit more flexibility down the right hand side, and that's why we've witnessed more overlapping runs from White down that right touchline zone, because now they have a solid base of center backs ahead of the goalkeeper, and then they still have protection from Rice and Thomas Partey. Now, while those overlapping runs from White hasn't really offered much success for Arsenal in terms of goal scoring chances or goals in general, what it has done is that it's allowed Saka to move more into an inside right position and get him closer towards goal to be more of a threat. In these situations, you've witnessed Saka tuck in towards those pockets of space to receive the ball, and then from there they're able to stretch the opposing side's backline, because then Saka could slide the ball out to White, or initially what you can see is just simply Saka dragging markers towards him, and then White pushing forward down the right touchline zone to serve as a threat to help bypass the opposing side's midfield bank, and at times the defensive bank as well. The other factor that we've seen from White is that he's been more adventurous on the ball, and it's allowed him to step forward in towards the opposing side's half, and from here we've seen White's passing ability serve as a legitimate attacking threat, along with Saka making runs off the touchline and behind. From there we've witnessed Saka get himself into positions behind the opposing side's backline where he could serve as a legitimate goal-scoring threat with his 1v1 ability, or he could pick out teammates making runs in towards the box by dragging markers towards him, or simply picking out the free run in towards the opposing side's penalty area, placing his teammates in positions where they can test the goalkeeper at the very least. From those inside right positions, Saka is also capable of making darts in behind the opposing side's fullback, and then from there he could serve as a creative option, and it also gives him the opportunity to get himself into 1v1 positions from right half space. What we've often witnessed from Arsenal over the past season is that Saka's supposed to be hugging the touchline to provide the width, and at times it does make him a bit one-dimensional, and teams have have been looking to counter that by doubling up down that side, or at times tripling up down that side. Now, in those situations, it wasn't guaranteed that he would get support from an overlapping right back, and the only real support that he would get as the right shuttler, often Martin Odegaard, making runs in behind the fullback to create space for Saka to cut on towards his left foot. Teams have been capable of neutralizing that threat, and there are the rare occasions where Saka is capable of dragging markers towards him and quickly playing the ball towards Odegaard or a fullback, but the flexibility of having a natural left center back playing in that role does give the right back freedom to help out Saka in these situations. Now, there will be situations where the opposing side's capable of going 3v3 in that zone and neutralizing that threat, but we've also witnessed situations where Saka's done a very good job of making off-ball runs from that zone to get into the half space, and from there he's been able to create in those scenarios, or in the same breath he's capable of getting into a position where he could serve as a legitimate goal threat. And then if we shift back to the board, we haven't really seen much of a direct threat from Martinelli in preseason, and we've often seen Trossard start from that left-sided role, but even when teams have done a very good job of man-marking Martinelli out of the game, specifically in that Man United loss, what we've witnessed is that Martinelli and Trossard have dropped off deeper to receive the ball, and Trossard in particular has dropped into pockets of space to get in towards that midfield zone to receive possession, and from there Arsenal are constantly looking to switch the ball out towards the right-hand side to get Saka in those 1v1s. In those situations, you've witnessed Gabriel Jesus or Odegaard, and at times both, occupying the left center back or the left fullback, and they've created space for Saka to receive the ball in those 1v1 situations, and rather than solely looking to cut on towards his left foot, this would serve as an additional threat for Saka closer towards the penalty area, where he could play the ball around the opposing side's fullback for underlapping runs, or simply offer a different dimension to Arsenal's attack by continuously looking to drag the ball towards the byline, and then serve as a creator for runners breaking towards the back post or the 6-yard area.
So as you could see, a combination of new arrivals and Saka's positional versatility provides variety to his attacking threat from the right, which should serve as an asset for the team as a whole and individually as Mikel Arteta's Arsenal push for silverware this season.